Hey YouTube, this is me again. I just want to say something. Don't know how many of y'all happen to be aware of this situation, but I learned this when I got to be part of the pulpit committee in my church when we was picking the pastor. Now, there's a reason why people say that the church is a business. I'm gonna tell you why. Learned this a long time ago. These pastors that be in these pulpits and shit, here's the thing. They're becoming an ordained pastor, not because God called them to do it, because being a pastor is a job like working at McDonald's or Subway or being a school teacher. They get paid to do that shit. They're not doing it for free. And there's a contractual obligation that they have with the church that says if they don't reach a certain amount of members in a certain amount of time, they can get fired. So all y'all who think these pastors are doing this churchy stuff in the name of Jesus, they're not. A lot of them just went to school to get degrees to become pastors because that's a very easy job because a whole lot of people are already so religiously whipped in the damn head. It's really not that hard. All you gotta do is read some shit out the Bible, say the stuff that the seminary tells you to say, get a bunch of people to come to the church, keep re-saying the same shit, make it sound good, sing, dance, have all these different programs and stuff, draw as many people in as you can. And the other thing, I forgot what the. Oh yeah, the pastor he gets or she gets a 401k, a life insurance plan, health insurance, all that shit. That's why if you want to be ordained as a under shepherd, you got to go to the seminary because by law, once you graduate from the seminary, a church has to pay you to be the leader of it. So all this stuff about these pastors be laying their life down for God. No, they don't. These pastors are paid to do what they do. And a lot of them do it so long that they die in it because they get paid to do it. They're not doing this shit for free. And the reason why the church tithes so often is because that money goes to the pastor and then he gets a whole nother fucking check in his own name. So all this stuff people keep saying, oh, this pastor is sacrificing his life for the name of the Lord. No, he's not. These pastors get fucking paid. And there's some churches that'll make you do the collection shit twice, maybe 3 times, just to keep paying this dude to stay. Like, for example, if the pastor brings in a lot of people, they give his ass a raise. If he meets the requirements but falls off a little, they demote his ass. So this pastor stuff really ain't what you call many are called but few are chosen. No, these niggas get paid. And they have to reach a certain amount of members to keep the church open and running. And if they fall short or they don't get as many, the church that has what's called a committee meeting. And they get to decide whether this pastor is legit to stay or they kick his or her ass out. So don't think these pastors is going behind these pulpits because they like you. No, a lot of them are doing this shit because they get paid. Big time. They get paid. That's why a lot of pastors with them degrees from the seminary are very choosy to what church they tend, the church they tend to lead because it's like, okay, I got a degree in this, so I can prove that I know this, this, and this. And I can speak it this way. I can sing and I know different languages and stuff. And that's another thing. Depending on where you got your degree and who you know, that's how you get bumped up in the church. It's like if you're a part of a fraternity, you could be a head of a mega church because you're in a fraternity, which means you got connections. But if you're not, you get put on one of these smaller churches where you just have to maintain and make do. So all this stuff people saying, oh, these pastors are men of God. They're laying their life down for God. No, they're not. They just know if they don't reach a certain amount of members in a certain amount of time, they're going to get fired. Just like you see, like during the service where they do the, trying to bring people to Jesus stuff. The church ain't doing that because they care about your salvation. The church know if they don't get new members every Sunday, then they can't get more money, which means the church will start to suffer financially more, which means the church may eventually close. That's why it's the pastor's job. He's called the under shepherd. He's supposed to preach a real condemning sermon to bring people to the church to keep the church open. Hate to break a lot of y'all hearts about that shit, but this pastor shit is not real. These guys are a bunch of paid fucking actors. They're not real. They are not real. Now, I'm not saying all of them are a bunch of money-hungry fucks, but a lot of them are. Like, that's why they gotta wear the suit. That's why they carry the Bible. That's an image thing they're trying to maintain. Because in the seminary, they like, here's a deep kick to your balls. In the seminary, they are taught the truth of the stuff Jesus really wrote, the stuff he really taught, who he really was, what he really looked like, and what his true nature is. But, and I said this in the video before, but I'm adding some stuff. They're told to not tell you the truth. One, because they'll lose money if they do, and two, do you know there was one time when a lady came to my church who was a pastor, and she told the truth about what Easter really was about. Now, these were her words. She came in the church one time and said, you know what? I've been thinking about something. What does Easter and Jesus have to do with each other? Like, what does a chocolate bunny and Jesus really have to do with each other? I hear people in churches, here she goes. Oh, she about to say something that ain't true. Oh, she about to say something that ain't true. Next thing you know, she told the church, she did her research, and she found out that the actual meaning behind Easter is the goddess Easter or Esther, and she's the goddess of sex and war. She said that, man, the amount of awkward silence in that church was ridiculous. Then I guess the seminary got word that she told the truth, and they condemned her and told her she can't be doing that, or they're going to take away her pastor license or degree or whatever. So if y'all must know, these pastors are lying to y'all just to keep money. That's all I'm trying to tell you. These guys are not real. And unfortunately to say, y'all think, oh, a lot of them are soldiers in the army of the Lord. Oh, they grow old with this stuff. No. They are getting paid to do what they're doing. This is not no free fucking labor worker of the field kind of shit. No, this is not no worker of the field thing. No. These pastors and bishops and such are getting money to do this shit. Money. That's why every church got the collection thingy they do twice, maybe 3 damn times. Then you got the call to discipleship where they have everybody stand up and have people try to come to Jesus, because that pastor know if he don't get a certain amount of people in that church at a certain point, his ass is getting fired. Then he got to go get a whole nother job or try to go to a whole nother goddamn church. Sad note. Anyone can do this whole pastor thing. All you got to do is just know the Bible and know which verse to click every Sunday, like. And the biggest scripture that the church likes to throw in anybody's faces is the tithing shit, like, give to God what's his, give to God, give him your hard-earned money, he only wants 10% of it. God was so good to you all week, you can't give God what's his. And again, I do repeat, the Bible tells you that God's not a lover of money, but whatever. But truthfully, I'm just letting you know, these pastors ain't doing this stuff for free. They're being paid to do it. And like I said, when I was in the pulpit committee, I learned that stuff. That these pastors are, let's just say they ain't about 97, 98% of these pastors ain't chosen by God. These pastors are chosen by the church based off of what the church needs. God ain't calling them, because if he was calling them, all these damn mistakes would not be made. Not saying people wouldn't fall short, but this shit they see, they wouldn't be ignoring it. Because they're trying to keep a squeaky clean image. Then they try to be the head of a big church that's really important, got a lot of members, and then they forget where they come from. But point being is, they get paid. Point being. So again, to all y'all that think these pastors do this stuff for free, they don't. They don't. So, yeah, just letting y'all know about that. So y'all want to keep cheering these pastors on because y'all think they're laboring in the field. They are not laboring in shit. These pastors are living off your tithe money and the church's annual salary that they give them. Then they pay for the pastor's car, the pastor's house, take care of the pastor's family. If the pastor should pass away, they pay for his funeral and take care of his family for I don't know how long. But like I said, in that little pulpit meeting I learned these pastors are not being called by God. They're being picked by churches based off of what the church needs to get members in it. God ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Nothing. So I'm just letting you know all that many are called but few are chosen shit. Ain't none of them chosen. They're all called by church people. So whatever you thought you knew, there you go. And oh yeah, one more thing. Every time a new pastor gets elected, there is paperwork and documents that go into picking the pastor. One thing I learned about that. Sometimes these churches ain't picking these pastors from God's point of view. A lot of the time these churches are picking these pastors from the shit they ain't got the patience to wait for. Like with what the church shit I had to be in the middle of. The older motherfuckers who didn't have patience couldn't wait for, as they say, God's spirit to lead them and tell them what to do. So they end up picking the wrong person, and it tore the damn church down fully to the point the damn church was on a red line and it almost got sued, and then it almost shut the hell down. So I'm just letting y'all know this whole church thing ain't nothing but a fucking grind. That's all it is. And then you got all these fooled ass black people or people in general going to these religions thinking these fucking people love them. But in all reality, all they're trying to do is keep money and control what the fuck people do. That's really all the fuck it is. Also, that's pretty much all church is just controlling people and getting money from you. But about the whole paperwork thing, pretty much every damn church has the paperwork of whoever they're putting in that damn pulpit every Sunday. And sometimes the church might know that the pastor got certain issues. Like, for example, y'all wonder why most of these priests and these fucking bishops and shit, y'all think, oh, this pastor was gay and he might have just been gay. Or this pastor likes to have sex with little boys. Or this pastor likes to fuck men's wives. Just know the church already knew that. Them motherfuckers knew that. They all been knew that shit. Because it says it on the goddamn background checks in the paperwork. But because the church is in such dire need of a leader, and they don't want to look bad in front of another fucking church, because here's the thing. Churches gossip like a motherfucker. They all gossip. Every one church talk about a goddamn another. There's a circuit of this shit, and I learned this in the pulpit thingy. All churches talk shit on each other. All pastors talk shit on each other. All first ladies talk shit on each other. This shit happens all the time. All these, like, if you think any of these churches are really about God, no, they're not. All these churches are two things: money, fear, and a fucking image. That's all they are. And then, say, for example, your church goes too long without a leader. Other churches will start to hear about this shit, then the gossip of, oh, such and such a church ain't got a pastor. Oh, I wonder what they doing over there. Oh, such and such a church ain't got a leader. Oh, I wonder what they doing over there. Then somebody from another church comes to sneak into your church to see what's going on, then run back to their own church and tell that church what the fuck going on. Now that whole church know what the fuck going on in your church. Now it's fucking gossip. Next thing you know, now they gotta rush to get a damn pastor so they don't look bad. So if you niggas think these churches is about God, no, they're not. And sad to say, I had to learn this shit the hard way. Because I assumed, oh man, these pastors are really doing their thing for God. Come to find out, no, these niggas are just getting paid. So, like I said before, if you're surprised that your pastor might be gay or lusting after your woman or your dude or what the fuck ever, or they might have a drug problem or some shit like that, just know the church already knew about that shit. But because they needed a leader that bad, they just picked him and said, fuck it. And also, that because of whatever stature that pastor carries, they'll try to cover his shit up. But then it'll get to a certain point where they can't cover it up and they have to fire his ass and find somebody else, which takes way the fuck longer because here's another thing. Say, for example, if a church carries a shady reputation for losing pastors, or pastor might have been gay or might have been having scandals and shit, there's a lot of pastors with a very high reputation and very well respected that won't be the pastor of that church because of that church's reputation of being faulty and can't keep nobody. And the last thing they need is that reputation being on their fucking head. Now they gotta deal with that shit. No church is gonna take them. Cause, oh, I see you went to such and such a church. Oh, but they couldn't keep nobody. Oh, they fired you or you quit. I wonder why. So yeah, if you ever wonder what be going on behind closed doors at the meetings, that's what the fuck is happening. That's why a lot of these pastors or bishops or whatever y'all be putting in place to lead y'all, then y'all find out, oh, this pastor was gay. Oh, this pastor was stealing money. Oh, this pastor was fucking the women. Oh, this pastor was doing drugs. Oh, this pastor was having sex with kids. These churches already know these pastors' problems, but because they need a leader and he looks good up in that pulpit and he can bring people in, they ignore all that shit. Then they're like, oh well, he's human. Oh, he has flaws, nigga. No. Y'all know y'all fucking wrong. So that's all I'm trying to say. Y'all know y'all fucking wrong. But anyway, peace.